Welcome. We are here at KBIS. My name is Lauren Gold and I'm on the industry marketing team at House. I'm here with Greg and Ross from the Bestbath team and we're so excited to be with you today. Today we're going to be talking a lot about the industry trends that we're seeing, using some data from the latest House Barometer survey, in addition to talking to these Bestbath folks about universal design and trends that we're seeing in the industry. Why don't we get started?
Sounds great. Let's do it, Lauren.
I think one of the big themes that we were seeing this year was that the planning process is taking a really long time, right? People want to know what's happening in the market. They're entering this information stage earlier, sometimes taking 6 months or more with their professionals to plan their projects. How are you guys, interacting with that as the trends are changing and seeing people taking a long time as they're deciding what to do in their bathrooms?
Well, I work with a lot of our dealer group throughout the country, and I'll start talking with them early off in the process when they're just first starting to meet with the customer, and then I help them walk through that process, pick different designs, different features of the showers that they want. And like you said, it can be a very long process, 3 to 6 months a lot of times, and it's up to me to help kind of guide them as to what might be a better feature, better product for their particular customer. And these customers, they're very well informed, they know what they like, and it's, they're conversing with their dealer, and then their dealer converses with me to find out what's going to be the best fit for them on their particular project.
Great.
Yeah, and I would say overall, as you know, with the internet, the availability of information, it's so accessible to consumers that they can spend that time looking at information on their own. And so that's kind of the key, is making sure that information is available, being able to be the resource and backup to what they learn online. And of course, there's a lot of information that is misleading online, so being there as the powerful resource to help and guide them along the way. But like Ross talked about, there's so much information out there, they get a very good sense of what they want, but they need somebody to then help them bring that to fruition, if you will.
Definitely, yeah, and I think that we see that a lot where people are information gathering online and then they're going and they're turning to a professional for that professional advice. So that's fantastic. One of the things that we're seeing across the board as a common trend is that more people are spending higher budgets on their master bathroom, right? They're renovating their master bathroom less often, spending more money on it so that it lasts a longer time. Whereas smaller budgets are going more towards that guest bath. And that's where you're seeing a bit more creativity. So when you're working in the industry and you're seeing that those industry trends, things that might be going in and out, or maybe trying to stay classic, how do you navigate, especially utilizing universal design, to make sure that that master bath is going to last a long time and really ensure that that homeowner is going to be happy with their master bathroom for the long term?
Yeah, I think on that's a great perspective and a great question. People are now taking the time and they're staying in their house longer. The universal design that you mentioned is becoming a very, very hot topic in the marketplace. Aging in place is a topic or a statement that's been used for a number of years, where universal design really addresses the true aspect of what people are looking to do, and they're willing to take that and spend the extra money on their master bath so that it will last. They don't want to just settle for what they have in the past. They want to take that up to the next level, really make it beautiful, take the design time to add all the additional materials that are necessary to make it theirs.
And just for everyone, can you speak a bit more as to what universal design really is and how it really fuses, function and design? Is it purely functional, or is there a design element there that you can bring into the universal design concept?
Right, that's a great question. You want to take that one?
Yeah, so universal design, the concept as a whole, is to make it functional for everybody of all age ranges and all ability levels. And a perfectly universally designed space, you can't tell that it's accessible or it's designed for somebody with lesser abilities. When you look at it, it just looks like a nice space, but then once you start to get to use it, you can really determine that, yes, this is functional for everybody of all age ranges.
Yeah. Universal design is really that. It's good design. As we were talking earlier, if you have a grab bar in a shower and you're older and you need it, it's great. But at the same point, it's also there for somebody that's 5 years old, that's into the shower, and it's safer for them. The key there is to really, with universal design, I think, is to make it beautiful. Placement is important, but like Ross said, anybody can use it.
Fantastic. Another popular feature that we are seeing this year is that luxury features are gaining in popularity, with 84% of people upgrading their master showers. So what I want to ask you, some of the features that are popular are these jets, spas and baths for 2 people. How do you integrate that, that with something very functional, such as these universal design features, aging in place concept? How do you merge the two, and how do you really navigate that process?
Well, I think at that perspective, it's very important that they work with the designer because they need to understand what's available. But there's so many times, and I know I did that myself, where I'm going to redesign my bathroom, and after my design work, my bathroom was apparently supposed to be twice as large.
Right.
So there's a lot of items out there that will fit. And so they need to take the time to understand the space. They need to lay out that space. If they want the jetted tubs, if they want the double soaker, think about that, and then really kind of put the list together of what's most important for you. And then from that perspective, look at your budget and then understand the direction that you want to go on the luxury side as well. When people do upgrade their master baths, they're looking to spend some additional dollars. They really want to make it their own. They want to make it very personal. And so many of the features that you can look at and get incorporated are like the use of tile, as we've incorporated in the shower here. You have the opportunity to really get the right colors and surfaces. A number of people will, of course, want a shower that has ceramic tile on the walls, and so we see an awful lot of that, but again, that incorporates the style and the design aspects. The other thing that they want to look at is what do they want to do maintenance and how long do they want that to last. So that's all part of the tile selection. If you want to go down that road, what products do you want to use?
Right.
What's the durability aspects for it?
So some of the more popular trends that we're seeing is that 50% of people are looking for these seat-in showers, 71% of people are looking for this handheld shower head, a lot of these universal design features. Is that something that you're seeing across the board? Are these popular trends? Or can you speak to that a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. In our industry with the showers, we see all of that. So, for example, the majority of the showers that we sell, people are requesting handheld showers all the time, and then the universal design aspect of it is this glide bar that also functions as a grab bar for safety purposes. Another thing that people are really liking are fold-up shower seats. We provide a teak shower seat that's very functional but looks beautiful. You can fold it up out of the way, and then you can fold it down when you need it. People of all ages and generations are using these seats, and if you don't need it, it simply folds up and flips out of the way for the next person to use it. So that's definitely something that we're seeing in the bathing industry.
Yeah, and we're noticing that 1 in 4 aging seniors are making these changes with aging in place in mind. But I think it's really good to know that some of these features can kind of span different heights, span different ages, and span different generations as people are making these long-term investments. So when it comes to these intergenerational, different generations doing different things with their home, we're finding that 44% of the baby boomer generation now has the financial means to make some of these changes. We also talk a lot about the silent generation and even millennials who are going for something that is shiny and new when they're moving into their first homes. So I want to ask you guys, how can universal design really span across all these different age groups and all these different needs and wants?
Yeah, again, great perspective, and is how we see the industry changing. You mentioned the silent generation. That generation grew up in the Depression. They're just happy to have something that works, and they're not really that discerning on the form. They want the function. Now with the baby boomers, they have the means. They want something that's nice, they want to make it their own, and they really want to customize it. And like you said, they now have the funds to be able to do that. And you see that change over time and how it gets to be more demand for customization and very specific to meet their design elements that they want. And as you go further into the millenniums, they're even more picky on what they want. They know what they want, and they're going to wait until that they can get it. So the universal design aspect really fits it well across the board. When you look at all of those generations, again, the oldest generation where they need to have the safety features, they're in there. With the baby boomers, they want something that looks nice, but they still needs to function. So they'll be willing to put some of the grab bars in there, but they want grab bars that are different.
Yeah.
They want grab bars that really can add a sense to style. And then when you get to the millennials, it's a great conversation to have with them as well, because they can go and have, say, their bathrooms designed, but they're not necessarily looking for the safety features, but that's a great conversation to have with them about thinking in the future. It's like, you know what? You build it now, and in 10 years, you can still then do the customization with that universal design, and you're ready to go. You're pre-planning for the future. Ultimately, you can continue to change the design, but it also meets the universal design of function.
I like that concept of pre-planning, right? You know, this concept of universal design, merging and fusing functionality and design, being able to get the style that you want, but still making sure that it's going to work for you as a long-term investment, especially going back to this idea that people are spending more on that master bath, and you want to see results from that.
Exactly right.
Great. In terms of timing for these bathroom upgrades, the house community, overwhelmingly, 46% are choosing to upgrade their master baths in the span of 16 to 30 years. So I want to ask you, why do you think that is? Why do you think that people are in that time frame when it comes time for their master bath remodels?
Well, most people in that age, they've had their kids, they've raised their kids, now they want to focus on them. They like where they're living, they like the community, they like the house, they want to make it their own. They want to take that to the next step and just change it a bit to meet their needs of where they're at now. And again, that's where the discerning taste comes in. They want to make it beautiful and pretty and long lasting, and part of that is the material selection.
Yeah, and so, when it comes to durability, ceramic and tile have overwhelmingly been the popular choice for finishes, flooring, etc. Is that a trend that you guys are seeing as well?
Sure. Being in the composite shower manufacturing business, we compete with that type of product all the time, and for good reason. Tile is beautiful, it's durable, you have tons of choices, but when you combine it with, say, one of our shower pans, you can get a mix of materials that's long lasting, it's durable, the showers are easy to clean, and so it really gives somebody a nice looking shower that's going to last a long time.
Yeah, it definitely seems like the time to do it is not only when you have the means, but when you're ready to do that industry research, really take it all in, utilize your resources, find this professional who can really help you see what's out on the market and help you make it an informed decision.
Absolutely.
Coming out of these, house barometer studies that we do, there's a lot of data that we get, right? And I want to know, how can you and the industry professional and the homeowner kind of bridge those gaps, right? How can we use that data to help better the process when you're making selections, getting that industry research, taking in all the information and using it to make informed decisions in your projects?
Yeah, fantastic. As we talked about earlier, the amount of information that's available in the industry is almost endless. The consumer needs to do the research in the beginning to get the base knowledge and understand where they're at and what they want, figure out what their budget is, kind of work on the design, but also look and try to make the determination of how long they're going to stay into that house. The pro, in turn, there's many of them that we work with that are more interested in the sale than actually just working with the customer to make sure that they're getting what they need for the long term and really do the consultative type approach. On the manufacturer side, we need to stay abreast of what's happening in the industry to continue to innovate and bring products that customers want. Not only it's the form and function, they're beautiful, they function well, and they integrate well. And in turn, if we can get all of those individuals on the same page, everybody has a piece of that pie to make sure the information's shared. And when you do that, it all comes together really well. Everybody, again, has to work together to understand that process, and then it goes quite smoothly.
Definitely. Another thing that has come up is that we are seeing that 71% of people who are remodeling their master bathroom are working within their existing footprint, meaning that they're not actually adding more square footage on to the bathroom that they have. They're trying to renovate and remodel and really optimize the space in their existing space. So what I really want to ask is that something you're seeing, and how can you really, make sure that if you're working with a certain square footage that you're getting everything you need in there?
Yeah, a lot of people are making the change, and if you don't change the structure of the bathroom, you can save a considerable amount of money. There are a number of tub showers out there that people want to pull out for accessibility reasons, universal design. So we'll see quite a bit of that, and I think Ross has worked with a number of those customers.
I do, and in my line of work, I deal with customers that a lot of times they're simply pulling out their tubs and replacing it with a shower, and a lot of times they'll go a little bit smaller to free up some additional space, for storage. If they want to go to a larger vanity, I know 2 sinks is a very large demand in a lot of bathrooms now. So if they can shrink one aspect of their bathroom to expand another, that's a big benefit for a lot of people.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you, Greg, and you, Ross. Thank you so much to Bestbath and to all of you for tuning in. Again, I'm Lauren from House, and it was such a pleasure to be here with all of you today to talk about the industry trends that we're seeing, particularly universal design and how you can really merge function with design moving forward with these bathroom remodels. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thanks, Lauren.
Hey.